Welcome to the virtual Sekite at Tenpachido Hall, home to Kodan storyteller Kyokudo Nanshun. Tonight's Kodan tale is an overly patriotic story about the origin of the man in red, white, and blue, Uncle Sam, a famous symbol from the United States. This tale may be quite cringe to listeners today, but it is based on writings of the time. Here is Kyokudo Nanshun telling the origin of Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is a famous symbol of the American government. He first appeared on posters in World War I, calling all men to join the military to fight for the USA. Uncle Sam is a tall man with white hair and a goatee. He wears a top hat, tailcoat, and trousers in the colors of red, white, and blue. But what most people don't know is Uncle Sam was modeled on a real person. Our story begins September 13th, 1766. In the colony of Massachusetts is born the main character of tonight's Kodan, Samuel Wilson. Samuel was born before the United States had become a country. But at this time, the American colonists were already tired of being ruled by the British Empire. Why do we have to pay expensive taxes when we don't have anyone sitting in the British Parliament? It's not fair. The American colonies must be represented in Parliament. If not, we will fight for our independence. Samuel Wilson grew up during this time. He and his older brother Ebenezer wondered, what kind of country would we be if we're not a colony? But many American colonists wanted to know just how great a country they could be. In 1775, when Samuel was 9 years old, the War of Independence had started. This was a war to gain independence from England. Ebenezer was getting ready to join the war, his brother Sam watching him. Ebenezer, the war has started, hasn't it? Yeah, but don't worry about it, because we're going to win. How can you be so sure? Because we are seeking justice by having this war. Justice? There is no justice for England, who is trying to take away our freedom. Freedom is this land's symbol. Freedom? Yeah, like being able to do and say what you want and you won't be punished for it. Oh, well, I like being free. I wonder if there's anything that I can do. Let me go ahead of you and I'll find something for you. When I come back, be ready to go. All right, I'll be ready. And so Samuel's older brother goes off and joins the Continental Army. Samuel stays behind and waits for his brother's return. He packs a bag and it sits next to the door. 5 years later, actually so much time can pass with just one slap of a Kodan storyteller's harayogi, it's a time-traveling device. 5 years later, when Samuel is 14 years old, Ebenezer comes back home. Ebenezer! Samuel, are you still wanting to fight for your freedom? Yes, I'm packed and ready to go. All right, then come with me to the front line tomorrow. Everyone's waiting for you. And so on the next day, Samuel and his older brother go out to the camp. Sir, I've brought along my younger brother Samuel. Ebenezer Wilson, good job. So, you are Samuel Wilson. You will be in charge of guarding the camp, and also you will be given a very important job to do as well. Yes, sir, give me anything. I fight for my freedom. Really? Then look over there. Samuel looked in the direction the man was pointing and saw a herd of cattle there. You were in charge of those cattle. What? You want me to take care of cows? I want you to raise them, take care of them, and process them for food. But I wanted to fight for freedom. Samuel Wilson, those cows are the energy and power of the revolution. Without them, our army will not succeed. How do cows do that? Because soldiers who eat really tasty beef will fight that much harder. Those soldiers will be the heroes of the revolution, and you will be the one to make those heroes. Will you? Yeah, but I wanted to be the hero. Samuel Wilson, you are a hero. You will power our army, and the soldiers will be thankful for your deeds. They will fight that much harder because they know they have a hero who is looking after them. That is what a hero truly is. Will you be that hero? Yes, sir. And so the struggle between Samuel and the cows had begun. He gathered hay to feed them, he cleaned their manure, he did everything to look after the cattle. And even on one day, 3 enemy soldiers came. Hey, look over there. Those cows look really delicious. Let's steal one. The enemy soldiers get to the fence, but before they could climb the fence, I wouldn't do that if I were you. There was Samuel Wilson, aiming a gun at the enemy. Pardon us, little boy, but we're hungry. Give us your cows. No way. These cows are for the fight for freedom. I'll give you to the count of 3. 1, 2, boom! Ah! That wasn't 3! The soldiers run away as fast as they could. Whew, that was a close one. No one but freedom fighters will have these cows. Right, guys? Moo! That was thank you in cow. The cattle, receiving tender care and protection, grew up healthy. When they were ready, Sam took the cattle and he learned to process the best beef he could. The soldiers who ate the meat got lots of energy and they pushed forward in the fight for freedom. And Sam really enjoyed raising the cows, and he enjoyed seeing the happy faces of the men as they ate the meat. Well, now, if I get to go back home, I'll get a job working with meat, he had decided. And so thanks to the American Revolution, Sam learned about meat packing. He learned how to raise the cows, how to slaughter the cows, and how to package their meat. Samuel would participate in the War of Independence until it finally ended in 1783. The United States was now free. Ebenezer, the land of the free, the United States has been born. That's right, we're all free. And we have the freedom to do whatever we want. Right. Let's build a meatpacking company. Will you join me and be my business partner? Sure, I don't see why not. And so when Samuel was 22 and Ebenezer was 27, they decided to establish the E&S Wilson Meatpacking Company. Where should we build our company, Ebenezer? Well, we should build it in a place that's convenient. How about in Troy, New York? If we build there, we can use the Hudson River. We can use boats to ship the animals into the factory, and then use boats again to ship out the product very quickly. That's true. And New York City is very close by, so we could ship our product there, and lots of people will be able to eat fresh meat. Right, I see. Well then, let's decide on Troy. The people in Troy heard about the new factory being built in their town. They were so happy. You know, now that Samuel and Ebenezer have come to our town, it's been very nice to be able to eat fresh beef. Oh yes, and the 2 men themselves, they're very good businessmen. Oh yes, very kind and friendly, and very reliable too. Especially Samuel Wilson. He's like having an uncle protecting our town. Right. Our Uncle Sam. And so the people in the area started calling Samuel Uncle Sam, and the E&S Wilson Meatpacking Company becomes very successful. One day, the brothers were looking in the newspaper. Hey, Ebenezer, look at this. The Secretary of War is looking for a company to deliver meat rations to the troops. Let's try to get the contract. And so the E&S Wilson Meatpacking Company sends in their proposal to the U.S. military. We can provide you 3,000 barrels of beef for 1 year. Wow! Well, you get the contract. You start right away. The factory got started right away making meat rations for the U.S. troops fighting in the War of 1812. The barrels started to ship to troops around New York. On the barrels, the company printed EA-US. EA was the name of the contractor, and US was for United States. But when the barrels were being delivered and the soldiers saw the US label, yay! It's beef from Uncle Sam! Hey guys, beef from Uncle Sam! Who's Uncle Sam? He's the protector of all Americans. He makes the best beef in all the country. Here, try this. Well, this is the best beef I've ever had. I feel stronger than before. That's because this beef is from Uncle Sam. The soldiers were so happy that Uncle Sam in Troy was sending them food, and they fought that much harder because they were eating Uncle Sam's beef. And who thought this was interesting than the local newspaper? Beef stamped U.S. is the food that's protecting America. No, U.S. is not U.S. for the United States. It is from our one and only Uncle Sam. Buy no other. This news started to be spread all over the country. Did you read the newspaper? Yeah, about Uncle Sam, right? We're all being protected by Uncle Sam. Of course we are. The United States is Uncle Sam. People started to say that the United States was Uncle Sam. And then even the American government said, "We, the people of the United States, no, of Uncle Sam." Uncle Sam became the official nickname for the United States government. Presidents Abraham Lincoln and Franklin D. Roosevelt proudly used Uncle Sam in their speeches. And then when the First World War started, posters of Uncle Sam recruiting soldiers for the war spread around the United States. When you saw him from the top, he wore a white top hat with a band of stars, white curly hair and a white goatee, a red face, a red bow tie, a blue tailcoat with a white shirt and white waistcoat and red and white striped pants. This was the image of the United States. "We need you. Fight for freedom." Saying these words, he recruited soldiers. Well, if Uncle Sam says so, then I have to. You going? Yep, I'm going. And for so many soldiers, it was a memory that they could never forget. All of this because of one boy who raised cows for his freedom. This was the story of the origin of Uncle Sam. Very special thanks go to Hiraoka Coffee, established in 1921 for providing coffee to Tenpachido Hall. Hiraoka Coffee, home of the 100-year coffee and donuts. On your way home, please visit the Tenpachido Hall Basement Cafe and buy coffee. Thank you to our loyal customer Half Baked for buying coffee to go. Sign up for membership to the Cool Down Performance VIP and see Cool Down performances a week earlier than everyone else. We look forward to seeing you at the next performance.